Act like he was never a part of your life. Let me tell y'all something straight up. And I need you to hear me clear today. Sometimes healing don't come from closure. It comes from deleting the text thread, throwing away the hoodie, and walking right past him like he never existed. That's right. You gotta act like he was never a part of your life. Because sometimes the only way to move forward is to stop looking back. Now I ain't saying it's easy. You had dreams with this man. You prayed over him. You saw weddings, babies, vacations, growing old together. But baby, let's be real. He wasn't praying over you the same way. He was loving the idea of you, not the real you. So now, it's time to reclaim your power. Pick your head up, straighten that crown, and understand this. You ain't crazy. You're chosen. And chosen people don't chase folks who walked out like you was nothing. You bless 'em, release 'em, and keep walking with God. The moment you stop begging for what broke you is the moment you start building what heals you. That man didn't complete you. He distracted you. He delayed your calling. But don't worry, 'cause God is a restorer. And your comeback will look nothing like your heartbreak. Don't stalk his socials. Don't write no long just checking in messages. And don't be tempted to go down memory lane every time that sad playlist hits. Girl, cut the music off and turn the volume up on your future. Here's your mission now. Don't cry over what God is trying to clean out. You were never meant to be a pit stop for someone else's confusion. You were meant to be a destination, the blessing he couldn't handle. So act like he was never a part of your life, not out of hate but out of healing, because the version of you that let him go, she's the woman God's been waiting on. 7 keynotes. Don't let temporary people leave permanent damage. Not everyone you love is meant to stay. Some were just lessons. Heal and move on. Love isn't supposed to hurt. That much real love doesn't make you question your worth. If it breaks you down more than it builds you up, it ain't love. Your destiny is too big to be delayed by one person. God has plans for you. Stop shrinking your future to fit someone who couldn't see your value. Silence is the best closure. You don't need a final talk, a goodbye text, or one last explanation. Sometimes peace is louder than words. Healing is a decision, not a feeling. You may not feel ready, but choose healing anyway. Make the decision to be free. Your value ain't determined by who left. Just because he walked away doesn't mean you're any less. Diamonds don't lose value because someone didn't know how to wear them. You're not alone. God's got you when you let go of what's hurting you. God replaces it with what's meant for you. Stay faithful. Don't let temporary people leave permanent damage. Let me tell you something that might hurt at first, but it's gone set you free if you let it. Some people were never meant to stay. They were just passing through, like a bus that stops at your station for a minute and then keeps it moving. But here you are, sitting in that empty bus stop, still waiting for M to come back. Baby, the route's changed. That man was a layover, not your destination. See, we get so caught up trying to hold on to folks who only came to teach us a lesson. And then we wonder why we so tired, so broken, so confused. It's because we tried to make a forever out of somebody God only sent for a season. You can't turn a summer fling into a lifetime commitment and expect peace. You gave your heart to someone who didn't have the capacity to hold it. That's not your fault, but staying stuck in that moment, that's on you now. What you do after the heartbreak, that's where your power lies. You can either let that pain define you, or you can let it refine you. Don't let one broken person make you forget how powerful you are. You're still here. You still got purpose. You still got beauty inside you that no man can take away. What he left behind, that's not damage. It's space for healing. Sometimes people leave not because you weren't enough, but because you were too much truth for someone still comfortable with lies. And when folks can't handle your light, they try to dim it, manipulate it, ignore it. That ain't love. That's fear dressed up in a suit. It's time to stop apologizing for how deeply you loved. That wasn't weakness. That was you being real in a fake world. And let me tell you, authentic hearts always win. You might lose a few battles, but you ain't gonna lose the war. Now don't be out here dragging your past into your future. You carrying people in your spirit who already moved on. You losing sleep over a man who sleeps just fine at night. That ain't fair to your soul. Let that man go. Let the memory go. Let the pain go. When people show you who they are, believe 'em the first time. Stop rewriting the same chapter, hoping for a different ending. The book ain't gonna change until you flip the page, and trust me, the next chapter, it's got healing written all over it. You were never meant to be destroyed by love. Love don't wreck you. Love builds. Love restores. Love protects. So if it tore you apart, if it broke your spirit, it wasn't love. It was control, lust, or comfort dressed in a love costume. Let it go. And while you're letting go, take back what you gave away too freely. Your peace, your joy, your confidence. You got all that in you, baby. You don't need nobody else to validate it. Stop waiting for closure from the person who couldn't even give you honesty. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. And the best revenge ain't a clap back, it's a glow up. It's walking in peace while they still chasing chaos. It's being unbothered, blessed, and booked. Stop telling everybody your story with him in it. Take his name off the testimony, because what God's about to do in your life, it's so good, it's gonna make folks forget you ever went through that storm. People gon' be shocked when they see you shine. And when they ask how you made it, all you got to say is grace. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it broke you. But no, it doesn't get to define you. You get to rewrite the story. You get to come back stronger. You get to love again, trust again, breathe again. But only if you stop giving power to someone who was never permanent. You are more than the moment he left. You are more than the tears you cried. You are more than the apology you never got. Stand up. Wipe your face, square your shoulders. You got purpose to fulfill. And baby, it don't include going backward. So today, make the decision, not tomorrow, not next week, today. You will not let a temporary person cause permanent damage. They might have left a scar, but you gone wear it like a medal, proof that you survived and you still rising. Love isn't supposed to hurt. That much love ain't supposed to feel like survival. It ain't supposed to keep you up at night wondering what you did wrong, trying to figure out why he ain't texting back, or questioning your worth because he started acting distant. That ain't love. That's emotional warfare. And you don't deserve to be fighting battles just to feel seen. When it's real, love don't leave bruises, visible or invisible. It don't have you walking on eggshells, afraid to speak your truth because you scared he gon' leave. Love don't manipulate. Love don't gaslight. Love don't make you doubt yourself every other day. If it's costing you peace, it's too expensive. See, the problem is we've romanticized pain. We've convinced ourselves that struggle is part of the package. That if he's difficult, it must mean he loves me. Nah, baby, that's trauma talking, not love. Real love don't confuse you. It clarifies. It calms your spirit. It lifts, not limits. You're not supposed to lose yourself to love. You're supposed to find more of yourself through it. But here you are, shrinking, silencing, and second, guessing every move, just to hold on to someone who don't even recognize what a gift you are. And I know you saw potential. You saw what he could have been, but let's stop loving potential and start loving truth. Potential don't build a healthy relationship. Presence does, respect does, Honesty does. If he can't bring that to the table, then baby, you're dining alone with ghosts. You ever noticed how tired you are when you're with the wrong person? Not just physically tired, but spiritually drained. That's because your soul knows you're in a place that ain't feeding you. Your spirit is starving while you keep cooking meals for someone who ain't even hungry. Let me tell you this. Love don't play hide and seek. It don't disappear when it gets hard. It don't treat you like an option and then beg for loyalty. And it sure don't come with ultimatums or conditions. That ain't love, that's control, the kind of love God designed for you. It protects your heart, not shatter it. It makes you better, not bitter. It adds to your peace, not subtracts from your sanity. It sees you fully, flaws and all, and still chooses to stay. Now, if every time you bring up your feelings he shuts down or flips it on you, listen, that's emotional immaturity, and you're not his therapist. You're not supposed to raise a grown man into loving you the right way. That's not your job. Let go of the project and wait for the partner. Stop confusing effort with love. Just because he showed up doesn't mean he's showing up for you. Some folks love the idea of being in love, but they don't want to do the work. And you're out here doing the labor for two, wondering why you feel empty all the time. And don't let anybody tell you that's just how men are. That's a lie. Real men protect what they love. They don't leave it damaged. They don't ghost you after being intimate. They don't make you beg for bare minimum. They love with intention, not convenience. If it hurts more than it heals, it's not love. If you cry more than you laugh, it's not love. If you feel lonely next to him, it's not love. And if deep down you know you deserve better, but you're scared to leave, that's not love either. That's fear disguised as hope. You weren't made to suffer for connection. You weren't created to endure pain and call it passion. You were made to be loved in a way that reminds you why God gave you a heart in the first place. The right love feels safe. It feels like peace. It feels like home. So don't settle for heartbreak just because it's familiar. Don't accept pain as your portion just because you grew up around dysfunction. You get to choose different. You get to be different. Love ain't supposed to hurt that much, and when you finally walk away from what was breaking you, don't look back. Don't let your history keep you hostage. You owe it to your future self to find the kind of love that doesn't make you question your worth every night. Your destiny is too big to be delayed by one person you ever been at the airport, and your flight gets delayed. It's frustrating, right? You ready to go, bags packed, mind made up, but something or someone is holding things up. That's how some relationships be. You ready to take off in life, but you still sitting at the gate, waiting on somebody who ain't even packed their purpose. Let me tell you something. Just because someone was a part of your story doesn't mean they belong in your future. Sometimes you gotta look around and ask yourself, is this person pushing me forward or keeping me grounded? Because time is too precious to be spent with people who don't know where they're going. See, when you got a calling on your life, not everybody can go with you. Some people ain't built for your altitude. They'll get dizzy at the level God's taking you to, and you're out here trying to drag dead weight through doors that were only meant for you. That's why it feels so heavy. You keep saying, I love him though, and I get it, but let's be honest. Does he love your calling? Does he encourage your dreams? Or does he get uncomfortable every time you start shining? Don't trade your destiny for a temporary distraction. There's a reason God keeps allowing that relationship to fall apart. He's not punishing you. He's protecting your future, because he knows what's ahead of you, and he knows who won't survive the pressure of your purpose. God ain't gonna bless you with big things while you're still tied to small-minded people. You trying to build a kingdom with somebody who only thinks in apartments. You got vision, you got ambition, and here he come, talking about why you always working. Baby, you're not doing too much. You're just finally doing you. And the truth is, he sees your light. He just doesn't know how to honor it. So instead of rising with you, he tries to dim it. That's not love. That's fear. And fear has no place in your destiny. You need somebody who claps when you win, not someone who competes or complains. You've been stuck in neutral too long. God gave you a green light a long time ago, but you're still at the red, waiting for someone else to catch up. Listen, if they wanted to grow with you, they would have. If they respected your calling, they'd support it. But some folks love the version of you that needs them, not the one that's walking in confidence. You got dreams on pause. You got ideas collecting dust. And all because you're trying to carry someone who is supposed to be a lesson, not a lifetime partner. Let it go. Free yourself. You're not being mean. You're being wise. Your purpose deserves protection. I know it hurts. I know you invested time, energy, prayers, but don't let emotional attachment become spiritual imprisonment. Your destiny is too expensive to be paying rent on dead connections. God has something bigger for you, but he won't force it. You gotta choose it. There's a calling with your name on it, and every day you spend arguing, doubting, or waiting on someone who ain't ready, that calling gets quieter. You don't want to wake up one day with regrets, knowing you delayed greatness for someone who never even saw your value. Sometimes love means leaving, not out of hate, but out of obedience. Because when God gives you a vision, it's your responsibility to protect it. Even if it means walking alone for a season, trust me, he will replace what you release. He will reward your obedience with peace. So stand up, wipe your tears, take that dream off the shelf, dust off your goals. You were born for more, and no one, not one person, deserves the power to hold up what God has placed inside of you. Your destiny is too big to be delayed by one person. You've waited long enough. It's time to board your flight. Everybody ain't meant to go with you, and that's okay. Fly anyway. Silence is the best closure. Let me tell you something straight from the heart. Sometimes the best thing you can do is say absolutely nothing. No long text, no final conversation, no desperate voicemail trying to explain how much you cared. Sometimes silence is your strongest, loudest, and most powerful response. You keep waiting on closure like it's gonna heal you. But let's be honest. What kind of closure you expecting from someone who couldn't even give you honesty while they had access to your heart? If they couldn't treat you right in the relationship, what makes you think they'll give you peace on the way out? Stop expecting a mature goodbye from someone who gave you an immature relationship. Closure ain't something they give you. It's something you choose. It's when you wake up one day and realize, I don't need answers, I need peace. You keep wanting that one last conversation, that one last apology, that one final explanation that's supposed to make all the pain make sense. But baby, some people ain't sorry. They're just silent, and that silence, that's your answer right there. See, the truth is, you don't need words to close a chapter. Sometimes God will close it for you by revealing everything you refuse to see. The lies, the inconsistency, the lack of effort, that's closure. That's clarity. That's confirmation that you were worth more than what they gave you. And I know it's hard to just walk away. You invested time, love, energy, dreams. You saw forever, and now all you got is questions. But chasing clarity from someone who's already moved on is like knocking on a door that's been nailed shut. All you're doing is hurting your knuckles. Let silence do what your words can't. Let distance speak for you. There's healing in the quiet. There's power in not responding. There's strength in letting people feel your absence instead of begging them to understand your presence. You don't have to explain why you left. You don't have to justify your decision to anyone. Protecting your peace don't require permission. And choosing silence don't make you weak. It makes you wise. You want revenge, heal. You want closure, Let go. You want peace. Stop looking for it in broken people. The closure you're waiting on might never come the way you want it, but that's okay, because peace doesn't come from their mouth. It comes from your decision to stop listening. You keep saying, if I could just tell him how he made me feel. But ask yourself, did he ever ask? Did he ever care to sit down and listen without getting defensive or turning it around on you? If the answer is no, then baby, your silence speaks louder than any speech you could give. Some people walk out your life and leave you in confusion. But confusion is not your responsibility to fix. Your only job is to heal, to grow, to rise, and you don't have to beg for understanding to do that. Just breathe, let go, move forward. Don't text him when you're lonely. Don't call him when you're feeling weak. And definitely don't try to resurrect something God himself buried. If he removed that person from your life, trust that it was for a reason. Let silence be the grave marker. The people who truly care, they won't leave you needing closure. They'll give you consistency, effort, and real love. But until that shows up, don't let the ghost of confusion keep haunting your heart. You deserve better. You just gotta stop revisiting what hurt you. Silence is the reset button. It's where your power returns. It's where you stop talking and start healing. When you go quiet, you start hearing what God's been trying to say all along. And trust me, what he has to say is better than any apology you could ever receive. So take a deep breath. Stop typing that message. Don't make that call. Let silence speak. Let peace do the talking. And trust this. Your healing doesn't need a conversation. It just needs a decision. Healing is a decision, not a feeling. Healing don't just happen one morning when you wake up and the pain magically disappeared. It don't float down from heaven with a trumpet sound. Healing ain't always a moment of clarity. It's a moment of choice. It's when you decide, I'm done bleeding over what cut me. I'm done reliving what broke me. I'm ready to get up. You keep waiting to feel strong before you move. But let me tell you, strength don't come before the step, it comes after it. Healing is when you decide to take that first shaky step, even with tears in your eyes, even when your heart still aches, even when your mind keeps replaying the past like a broken record. See, feelings are liars sometimes. They'll tell you you're stuck when you're really just scared. They'll convince you that healing means forgetting, but it don't. Healing means remembering without crumbling. It means looking at your scars and saying, yeah, I went through it, but I ain't stuck in it. You can cry and still be healing. You can miss him and still move on. You can feel the sting of the past and still walk boldly into the future. Don't wait till the pain is gone to start healing. Start healing and the pain will fade. Too many folks keep pressing pause on their future, saying, I'm just waiting to feel better. Baby, you gon' be waiting a long time if you let emotions drive your life. Healing starts the moment you say, I may not feel ready, but I'm moving anyway. You ever cleaned out a deep wound? It stings, it burns, but it's necessary. If you don't clean it out, infection sets in. That's how emotional wounds work too. You can't just cover it with distractions, with new relationships, with fake smiles. You gotta sit with it, deal with it, and choose to clean it out. And listen, healing ain't pretty. It's messy, it's lonely, it's nights crying on your pillow. It's deleting numbers you memorized. It's blocking people you loved. It's saying no to what once felt familiar. It's doing the hard thing over and over until it don't feel hard no more. You gotta stop waiting for someone else to fix what they broke. Some folks will never say sorry. Some will never own what they did. But healing means you stop needing them to. You take back your power by saying, I'm not waiting for your apology to walk in my peace. And it's okay to mourn what was. It's okay to sit in the sadness for a minute, but don't build a house there. Don't let heartbreak become your home. Healing is packing up your pain and walking forward, even if you limp for a little while. You won't always feel strong, you won't always feel confident, but healing isn't about being fearless. It's about being faithful, faithful to your future, faithful to your worth, faithful to the belief that something better is coming. Stop asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because every wound carries a lesson, and healing ain't just about moving on. It's about moving up, growing, evolving, becoming the version of yourself that pain couldn't destroy. Healing also means forgiving, not for them, but for you, so you can breathe again, so you can sleep at night without replaying the betrayal, so you can laugh without guilt. You deserve that kind of freedom. You deserve a clean heart and a clear mind. You keep saying it still hurts. I know that's okay, but pain doesn't mean you're not healing. It means you're still feeling. And that's a good thing, because numbness is survival, but feeling, that's where the comeback begins. So today, make the decision, not when you feel like it, not when everything's perfect, right now. Say to yourself, I may be broken, but I will not stay this way. I will choose healing. I will choose peace. I will choose me. Because healing isn't a feeling, it's a fight, and you've already survived the worst of it. Now, it's time to win the rest of it. Rejection is just redirection. You thought it was love. You thought he was the one. You pictured a future, a family, a forever. But instead, you got silence, distance, maybe even disrespect. And now you're sitting there thinking, why wasn't I enough? Let me stop you right there. That wasn't rejection. That was redirection. That was God saying, I've got better. See, sometimes what looks like a door slamming in your face is really God building a whole new house. You keep crying over the one person who didn't choose you, but you don't even realize. You just got spared. You didn't get left behind. You got led away. Rejection don't mean you're unworthy. It don't mean you weren't beautiful enough, smart enough, loving enough. Rejection means something or someone was not aligned with the greatness God put inside of you. That's it. Don't make it deeper than it is. When someone walks away from you, let them. If they could leave, they were never meant to stay. And if their love had conditions, it wasn't the kind of love you needed anyway. Sometimes people are just a lesson, not a lifetime, and I know. Your heart didn't get the memo. You're still mourning what could have been. You're still wondering why it didn't work out. But listen, the rejection wasn't punishment. It was protection. It was redirection away from heartbreak that would have been way deeper if you stayed longer. You were praying for peace, right? You were asking for clarity, right? You were telling God to show you the truth, right? Well, baby, this is the answer. Him walking away is the answer. The unanswered texts. The lack of effort, that's the answer. Rejection is revelation. Stop chasing people who didn't value you. Stop rewriting your worth based on how someone else treated you. One person's inability to see your value doesn't decrease it. It just means they didn't have the eyes to appreciate the rare gift that you are. And don't try to force your way into a space you were never meant to fit. You keep shrinking, twisting, compromising, trying to prove yourself. But the right person won't require all that. They'll recognize you. They'll value you without you performing for it. Rejection has a way of rerouting you to purpose. That closed door pushes you to grow. That goodbye forces you to heal. That absence clears space for presence. Your own, and eventually someone better. Because when God redirects, He always replaces. You don't see it now, but one day you'll look back and thank God that it didn't work out, that He didn't call back, that He ghosted, that He chose someone else. Because what's ahead of you is so much greater than what you thought you lost. Some of y'all are in rooms you were never meant to be in, begging to stay where God is trying to pull you out, and you wonder why it's uncomfortable, why it hurts, why you feel drained. That's what happens when you resist redirection. You stay stuck. There's something better on the other side of this pain, but you gotta stop trying to go back. You gotta stop stalking his page, rereading old messages, hoping he'll change. That season is over, and the longer you stay in it, the more you delay your breakthrough. Let rejection teach you, not break you. Let it humble you, not harden you. Let it push you, not paralyze you. Because the people who walk away weren't sent to stay. They were sent to awaken something in you, to remind you of what you really deserve. So lift your head up, wipe your tears, walk with your shoulders back. That no wasn't a loss. It was a setup for a yes. That's coming. Rejection ain't the end. It's the beginning of you finally getting in position for the right love, the right life, and the right future. You weren't rejected. You were redirected. And that, my friend, is the biggest blessing in disguise. Let them wonder how you got so blessed you ever have somebody look at you sideways, like they can't believe how good your life looks now. Like they can't figure out how you're still smiling after everything you've been through. That's the glow-up they never saw coming. That's what happens when God takes your pain and turns it into power. Let them wonder. See, they thought the breakup would break you. They thought walking away from you would wreck you. They expected you to fold, to fall, to fade away. But here you are stronger, wiser, more focused than ever. That's favor, that's elevation. That's what happens when you stop chasing people and start chasing purpose. You don't owe anybody an explanation for your blessings. You don't have to justify your peace. You ain't got to apologize for the joy you fought to find. You walked through fire and came out refined. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them sit there confused. Just don't stop rising. They weren't there when you were crying in silence. They didn't see you praying through the heartbreak. They weren't up with you in the middle of the night, trying to figure out how to put the pieces back together. But they see you now, and all they can do is whisper and wonder. Let them wonder how you're glowing without them. Let them wonder how you healed so gracefully. Let them wonder how the person they left behind turned into a whole new version of themselves. You don't need revenge. You just need results. You don't need to clap back. Your life will speak for you. The blessings that are coming to you ain't because you were perfect. They're coming because you were faithful. You stayed grounded when you could have been petty. You stayed quiet when you could have exposed. You loved right even when you were done wrong. That's the kind of heart God rewards. Some people left because they thought you'd always need them. Now they scroll your page, wondering how you're thriving without their presence. That's not pride, that's proof. That's the fruit of your obedience, your growth, and your decision to let go of what no longer served you. You're not blessed because you were lucky. You're blessed because you were willing to go through the process. You took the hurt and turned it into healing. You took the betrayal and turned it into boundaries. You took the loss and turned it into lessons. That's why your cup is full now. There's power in silence. Power in peace. Power in not responding to every insult or every rumor. While they were busy watching you, you were working on you. While they were gossiping, you were growing. While they were judging, you were rising. That's why they're confused. Let them wonder how you bounced back. Let them wonder how you stayed soft after being treated cold. Let them wonder how you kept your integrity in the face of disrespect. That kind of strength, that kind of class, it comes from divine favor, not validation from people. You don't need closure. You're already closed off to what drained you. You don't need approval. You've already been appointed. You don't need applause. You've already got anointing. When you walk like you're chosen, people will question how you're still standing. Let them, because while they're stuck in their cycles, you're out here building. While they're posting quotes, you're living the reality. While they're trying to make sense of your blessings, you're just enjoying them. And that's exactly how it should be. Let your healing be their confusion. Let your peace be their mystery. Let your success be the headline they'll never figure out. You don't need to clap back. Just keep clapping for yourself. Your life will be your loudest response. So shine. Smile, rise, laugh out loud, live without limits, And when they ask how you did it, just keep walking. Head high, heart full, spirit free. Let them wonder, let them guess. But don't you ever go back trying to explain how grace found you. Because at the end of the day, your blessing ain't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you were never broken beyond repair. You were just being rebuilt for something greater. Let me tell you something. Everything you just heard, every truth we walked through together, it all boils down to one thing. You were never created to stay stuck in what hurt you. You were built to rise. You were built to overcome. You were built to evolve into someone stronger, wiser, and more powerful than the version of you who got left behind. Yeah, he walked away. Yeah, he lied. Yeah, he made you feel like you weren't enough. But guess what? You are enough, and his exit wasn't your ending. It was your beginning. You ain't broken. You're becoming. You ain't bitter. You're better. And you ain't lost. You're just being led somewhere greater. You had to unlove him to learn how to love yourself. You had to lose what was fake to make room for what's real. You had to sit in the silence to hear the voice of God saying, "This was not your destruction. This was your direction." So now you act like he was never a part of your life. Not because you're heartless, but because you finally found your heart. You finally realized you deserve more than bare minimum love. You deserve more than someone who couldn't see your worth. You deserve joy without confusion, peace without performance, and love without pain. Let him wonder. Let them talk. Let them scroll through your life trying to figure out how you're still standing. You don't owe them clarity. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them anything because you gave your all when they gave you less, and now you're giving yourself everything they couldn't. You healed. You elevated. You moved in silence. And now you're blessed out loud, so hold your head high, walk in your power, and don't look back. This ain't just a comeback, it's a confirmation that nothing they did could stop what God had planned for your life. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. This is your transformation. And baby, you ain't even seen your best chapter yet. Let them go, let them wonder, and let yourself rise.